Hey there, folks! Welcome back to another thrilling episode where we'll explore the wonders and mysteries of our natural world. Today, we're diving into the fascinating and sometimes frightening world of dust storms. These natural phenomena are as awe-inspiring as they are dangerous, and they have a significant impact on both the environment and human activities. Now, picture this, a massive wall of dust, hundreds of feet high, surging across the landscape, blotting out the sun and turning day into night. It's like something out of a science fiction movie, but it's very real and can happen with little warning. That, my friends, is a dust storm. These storms are not just a spectacle, they are a powerful reminder of nature's raw and untamed energy. But what exactly causes these dramatic events? How do they form and why are they so intense? Dust storms, also known as haboobs, are powerful windstorms that lift large amounts of dust and sand from dry, dusty surfaces like deserts and parched farmlands. These conditions are often exacerbated by droughts and human activities that disturb the soil. These particles are then carried aloft, sometimes thousands of feet into the air by strong winds, creating a dense, swirling cloud of dust. The process can be so intense that it can transport dust across continents, affecting air quality and weather patterns far from the storm's origin. These storms can travel at speeds of up to 60 miles per hour or more, making them incredibly fast-moving and difficult to predict, engulfing entire cities and towns in a matter of minutes. Imagine the sudden change in the environment where clear skies are replaced by a thick, choking cloud of dust. They can reduce visibility to near zero, making driving and even walking incredibly dangerous. The dust can infiltrate homes, vehicles and machinery, causing damage and health issues. Dust storms are a force of nature not to be underestimated. They remind us of the delicate balance of our environment and the power of natural forces. So next time you see a dust storm brewing on the horizon, remember, it's a reminder of the immense power of nature and the importance of understanding and respecting our planet. These storms are not just a challenge to overcome, but a phenomenon to study and learn from. Let's now explore more on this fascinating weather phenomena. We'll look at the science behind them, their impact on our world, and what we can do to mitigate their effects. Dust storms are a global phenomenon, occurring on every continent except Antarctica. These storms are not just a local issue. They have far-reaching impacts that can affect weather patterns, air quality, and even human health across the globe. But some regions are more prone to these dusty disturbances than others. The frequency and intensity of dust storms can vary greatly depending on the geographical and climatic conditions of each region. Let's take a look at some dust storm hotspots around the world, regions where these storms are not just common but a significant part of the landscape and daily life. First, we have the Sahara Desert in North Africa. This vast expanse of sand stretches over 9 million square kilometers, making it the largest hot desert in the world. This massive desert is a prime breeding ground for dust storms. The Sahara's harsh environment, with its extreme temperatures and minimal vegetation, creates the perfect conditions for these storms to form. Strong winds, dry conditions, and vast expanses of sand make it the perfect recipe for these dusty events. Next, the Arabian Peninsula. This region, known for its arid climate and expansive deserts, is another hotspot for dust storms. Just like the Sahara, the Arabian Peninsula's arid climate and sandy terrain make it another dust storm hotspot. The Rub' al-Khali, or Empty Quarter, is one of the largest sand deserts in the world, and a frequent source of dust storms. These storms can disrupt air travel, shipping, and daily life in the region. The fine dust particles can reduce visibility to near zero, making travel dangerous and sometimes impossible. Then, there's Central Asia. The Gobi Desert, spanning parts of China and Mongolia, is another major source of dust storms. This cold desert, with its harsh winds and sparse vegetation, frequently experiences dust storms that can blanket entire regions in a thick layer of dust. These storms can travel vast distances, reaching as far as North America. Dust from the Gobi Desert has been known to travel across the Pacific Ocean, affecting air quality and weather patterns in the United States. In the United States, dust storms are most frequent in the arid and semi-arid regions of the Southwest. The states of Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and Oklahoma are particularly prone to these events. Places like Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and Oklahoma are no strangers to these dusty events. The combination of dry conditions, loose soil, and strong winds creates the perfect environment for dust storms to form. The infamous Dust Bowl of the 1930s, which devastated the Great Plains, is a stark reminder of the destructive power of dust storms. This period of severe dust storms caused massive agricultural damage and forced many families to abandon their homes in search of better living conditions. Today, efforts are being made to mitigate the impact of dust storms. Techniques such as planting vegetation, using barriers, and improving land management practices are helping to reduce the frequency and severity of these storms. However, as climate change continues to alter weather patterns, the challenge of managing dust storms remains a global concern. Dust storms don't just happen randomly. They are natural phenomena that follow specific patterns and are influenced by various environmental factors. They're most likely to occur during specific times of the year and under certain weather conditions. By understanding these conditions, we can better anticipate and mitigate the impacts of dust storms. Understanding these patterns can help us predict and prepare for these dusty events. Meteorologists and scientists study weather charts, historical data, and current conditions to forecast when and where dust storms might occur. In the United States, dust storm season typically runs from late winter to early spring. This period is characterized by specific climatic conditions that make dust storms more likely. This is when the ground is dry and bare after the winter months, and strong winds are more common. The lack of vegetation during this time leaves the soil exposed and vulnerable to being picked up by the wind. These winds can easily pick up loose dust and soil, creating dust storms. The combination of dry soil and strong winds is a perfect recipe for these events. Several factors can contribute to dust storm formation. It's not just about the wind and dry soil. Other elements play a crucial role as well. Drought is a major factor as it dries out the soil, making it easier for wind to pick it up. Prolonged periods without rain can lead to extremely dry conditions, which are ideal for dust storms. Strong winds, often associated with thunderstorms or passing weather fronts, provide the energy needed to lift and transport dust particles. These winds can travel long distances, carrying dust far from its original source. Human activities can also worsen dust storms. Construction, agriculture, and other land use practices can disturb the soil and increase the amount of dust in the air. Overgrazing and deforestation remove vegetation that helps hold soil in place, leaving it vulnerable to wind erosion. When plants are removed, the soil loses its natural protection and becomes more susceptible to being carried away by the wind. Unsustainable farming practices can also deplete soil moisture and increase the risk of dust storms. Practices such as over-tilling and improper irrigation can lead to soil degradation, making it more likely for dust storms to occur. By adopting sustainable land management practices, we can reduce the frequency and severity of dust storms, protecting both the environment and human health. Dust storms aren't just a nuisance, they can also pose significant health risks. When these storms roll through, they fill the air with fine dust particles that can irritate our respiratory system and cause a range of health problems. People with pre-existing respiratory conditions like asthma, bronchitis, and emphysema are particularly vulnerable. Dust particles can trigger asthma attacks, worsen breathing difficulties, and lead to respiratory infections. Even healthy individuals can experience symptoms like coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath, and chest tightness during a dust storm. Eye irritation, runny nose, and sore throat are also common complaints. In severe cases, exposure to high levels of dust can lead to more serious conditions like pneumonia and heart attacks. It's crucial to take precautions to protect yourself and your loved ones during dust storms. If you live in an area prone to dust storms, it's crucial to be prepared. Always have a high-quality mask on hand, such as an N95 respirator, to protect your lungs from harmful particles. Keep respiratory medicines readily available in case they are needed. When a dust storm occurs, immediately seek shelter indoors. Close all windows and doors to prevent dust from entering your home. If you're driving, pull over to a safe location, switch your air conditioner to recirculate inside air, and wait for the storm to pass. Avoid driving through the storm as visibility can be extremely poor, making it dangerous. It's also important to stay informed. Monitor weather forecasts and alerts in your area to know when a dust storm is approaching. These precautions can help you stay safe during a dust storm and minimize health risks. Remember, preparation and vigilance are key to protecting yourself and your loved ones from the dangers of dust storms. While most people experience mild and temporary symptoms during dust storms, some situations warrant seeking medical attention. It's important to know when to call a doctor or head to the emergency room. If you or someone you're with experiences severe symptoms like difficulty breathing, chest pain, dizziness, confusion, or bluish lips or fingernails, seek medical help immediately. These could be signs of a serious medical emergency. People with pre-existing respiratory conditions should closely monitor their symptoms during and after a dust storm. If you notice your usual medications aren't controlling your symptoms or your condition is worsening, contact your doctor. Remember, it's always better to err on the side of caution when it comes to your health. If you're ever in doubt, don't hesitate to seek medical advice. Thank you for watching. We invite you to leave comments about your experiences with dust storms and any suggestions on how to survive them in the comments section. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to be notified when we release new videos on natural disaster safety, as well as basic and supernatural safety and survival tips. Until next time, stay fearless, stay prepared, and stay safe.